Hello and welcome to another video from Simply Scheduled Appointments. My name is James, and in today's video we are going to be looking at our integration with a very popular, very powerful form plugin called Formidable Forms. Integrating with form plugins like Formidable Forms allows you to take full advantage of all of the awesome features that Simply Scheduled Appointments has, as well as all of the awesome features that Formidable Forms has. So it allows you to take full advantage of both plugins as opposed to us trying to build our own robust form solution. This is a much quicker way for you to just get a really powerful form/booking solution. So first thing we're going to do is just take a quick look at a simple Formidable form that integrates with Simply Scheduled Appointments, and then we'll look at how we can make it a little bit more fancy. So if we just go ahead and check out our Formidable Forms form here, you'll see that we have a name, an email, and then we have the Simply Scheduled Appointments booking right here, and we can choose consultation, phone call, group capacity, team booking, or resources. We can fill this out and click submit. We'll pick our day and time, fill out our name and our email, and we'll be good to go. And if we take a look at how this form looks, it's very simple. It's a name field, it's an email field, and then there's a field called appointment. And we just drop that in there. It's showing these four, but we could we could choose whichever ones we want. We could show them all. We could click this to just show all available booking types, or choose the ones that we want to show. But there's a way that we can actually make this a little bit more fancy than just one appointment widget that shows a bunch of different options. What we could do is actually add a field that lets users select which one they want, and then we can display the correct appointment booking based on what they selected. And this offers you the ability to add more fields. Maybe there's different information you want to collect if they choose consultation, phone call versus group capacity. So you can add a field. They can choose consultation, phone call, and then whichever fields you want to show for that can show, and then the appointment booking will just show the consultation, phone call instead of showing all these booking types. So let's take a look at how we do that. I think the easiest way to do that, first of all, is to just duplicate this one. I'm just going to duplicate it twice. And for this one, I'm only going to show consultation, phone call. And for this one, I'm only going to show group capacity. And then for this one, we'll just do team booking. Update that. Okay. So now we have this appointment, and this appointment. Okay. And there's different views for different booking types. So you'll notice this shows Wednesday, Friday, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. These are only days that actually have available appointments. Down here it's showing every day whether there's an appointment or not, and the days that don't have appointments are grayed out. And then down here we're showing a calendar view. This is actually controlled in the booking type in the Simply Scheduled Appointment settings. So when you actually set up this appointment type, you can choose which kind of view you want. Now you'll probably use the same view for each one, but I wanted to show you the different options. So I went ahead and when I set up these booking types, I gave them each a different view just so you could see the different options that you have available to you. But as far as this form goes, like I said, we have three different appointment types: consultation, phone call, group capacity, and team booking. And we're going to add a formidable field. We're going to add a radio button, and we'll just call this appointment type. And for our options, we have consultation, phone call, group capacity, and team booking. And then we're going to do a little bit of conditional logic. So I'm going to choose this first appointment. I'm going to go to conditional logic and show this field if radio buttons equals consultation, phone call. Okay. Now if we update this, I think, yep, appointment type. So it was calling it radio buttons because that's the type of field it was, but once I updated it, it actually changed it to the name that we gave it, appointment type. So that just makes a little bit more sense here. So appointment type equals consultation phone call, then this booking consultation phone call will display. Come down here and do the same thing. This one is group capacity, so if appointment type equals group capacity, then this one's going to show. And of course, same exact thing for this one. Go to conditional logic. Appointment type equals team booking. So I'll go ahead and update that. And I'm going to go ahead and take a look at this form on the front end now. And now you'll see that we don't even see the booking widget yet until we select something. So if I click on this, we get consultation phone call. If I click on this, we get the group capacity. And if I click on this, we get team booking. And you might be wondering, well, what's the point of doing this versus what we had before? Well, when you do it this way, this allows us to actually add even more fields for each different appointment type. So if we go back to editing this form, maybe consultation phone call, I don't know, maybe you want to collect their phone number because maybe you're going to call them instead of them call you. So we could drop in this phone number here and we could do conditional logic, only show this if appointment type equals consultation phone call. Hit update. And let's take a look at the front end. And now you'll see if I choose consultation phone call, we get this phone number and we get the appropriate booking. So this just allows you to create a very robust form that makes sense and is easy to use instead of, you wouldn't want to just dump every possible field onto the form if some of those fields don't apply based on what they chose. So with this method, if they choose consultation phone call, you can have only the fields that apply to a consultation phone call display, including the appropriate booking type. And then if they choose group capacity, they might get a whole different set of fields that apply to group capacity, and those other fields that don't apply won't show up anymore. So, and as you can see, it's very simple to make that happen. And it doesn't have to be a radio type, a radio button field. You could do this with checkboxes. You could do it with drop down. So you really just have a lot of options here. And the trick is, again, just click on the field and go down to conditional logic and just decide exactly what you want to make that particular field show up. And you could even have multiple things. Let's add a checkbox field. And I don't even know what we would put here. Let's just say, I don't know, international. And we'll say yes and no, because that might make a difference, right? Because you have to pay for international phone calls or something, I don't know. So let's just say we only want this to show up if the appointment type is consultation phone call, and we'll add another one. The checkboxes equals no, so it's not international. And then we're going to choose this to all, so both of these have to be true. So if they choose consultation phone call and they check no on international, then this booking form will pop up. Let's go ahead and test that out. Okay, so I'm going to choose consultation phone call, and the phone number shows up, which we could probably hide that as well until they choose something. And then I'm going to choose international yes. And now you'll notice the booking form does not show up because we don't do consultation phone calls for people outside the country in this imaginary scenario that we're setting up. So if they choose no, now it shows up. And this is another case where you probably want to use radio buttons because you can't choose yes and no. That doesn't make any sense. But I just wanted to show you that this does work with checkboxes as well. So not only can you make things show up based on what you select in one field, you can actually make things show up based on what has been selected in multiple fields. And you can just build out this really complex form if you need to, if that's what your business requires. So that's pretty much it for this integration. The only other thing I want to mention is when it comes to sending people notifications, like when they book an appointment, they get an email that says thank you for booking with us. You do have the option to Formidable Forms can send out a notification email when someone fills out the form, but you can also send out a notification email through Simply Schedule Appointments. And I would just recommend that you, in this case, use Simply Schedule Appointments to send out those notifications, just because there's certain Simply Schedule appointment data, like a link that they can click on to cancel their booking or reschedule their booking. That kind of thing can be sent out via the Simply Schedule Appointment notification system. That's not something that you could send out through the Formidable Forms. So just something to keep in mind. If that's not important to you, then you could use Formidable Forms. If you go to the forms and go to settings for a particular form, you can go to actions and notifications, and then you can see there's a confirmation. You can either just show a message right there on the screen, you can direct them to a different page when they fill out your form, and then you can also send an email if you'd like. So the email would go to the email field in the form, since that's the email that they typed in, that's their email, and then you could say, thanks for booking, whatever. You can do that, but like I said, you're not going to be able to send booking specific information that way. So I would recommend, instead of doing it through Formidable Forms, I would recommend going in through Simply Schedule Appointments, settings, and if you go down to notifications, you can set up various notifications to go out. So I think that's probably it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you learned something, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.